Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Midnight Scientists. I'm so glad you're here. If you're settling into bed, curling up on the couch, or just trying to wind down after a long day of being a human, you've come to the right place. This is a quiet little corner of the internet where science gets soft-spoken and curiosity puts on its pajamas. Tonight, we're diving into the dreamy depths of the mind, exploring what science knows so far about dreams and the sleeping brain. It's a journey filled with the strange stories your mind tells, brain waves that look like gentle, abstract art, and a few quiet surprises that may just change how you think about sleep. There is nothing you need to do now. Simply take a deep, slow breath, settle in, and let's begin our quiet voyage into the theater of the dreaming mind. What exactly is a dream? It sounds like such a simple question, doesn't it? But defining a dream is a bit like trying to hold a cloud. You can feel it around you, but it slips away before you can hold on to anything solid. At its core, a dream is a series of thoughts, images, emotions, and sensations that your mind creates while you sleep. It's the original streaming service, beamed straight from your brain's production studio. Sometimes dramatic, sometimes absurd, and more often than not, completely nonsensical. And yet, despite their surreal qualities, dreams feel real while they're happening. You might fly or fall. You might find yourself in a familiar place from long ago, or be late for an exam you took 10 years ago. And during the dream, you are convinced it all makes perfect sense. But why does your brain do this? Let's go back, way back, to the ancient days. In Mesopotamia, dreams were considered messages from the gods. Egyptians had professional dream interpreters, like sleep-time oracles. Fast forward to ancient Greece, where philosophers like Aristotle were among the first to suggest that dreams might actually come from within the dreamer, from the body and the mind, rather than divine sources. Still, the idea that dreams had special meaning stuck around for centuries. Then came the 19th and early 20th centuries, and with them, Sigmund Freud. Freud believed dreams were the royal road to the unconscious, revealing our hidden desires and fears. While his theories were dramatic, they did bring dreams back into the spotlight. Carl Jung took a slightly different route, believing that dreams connected us to a shared human experience, what he called the collective unconscious. Symbols in dreams, according to Jung, had deep, archetypal meanings. But here is where science gently taps the shoulder of philosophy. Modern neuroscience takes a more grounded approach. Researchers now study the brain's activity during sleep, and what they've found is that dreams are closely linked to specific sleep stages, most notably REM sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement. During this stage, your brain is surprisingly active, sometimes almost as active as when you're awake. Your eyes dart around beneath your eyelids, your heart rate rises a little, and your body becomes temporarily paralyzed, which is a very good thing, or else you might be acting out your dreams. Dreams can occur in other stages of sleep, but these tend to be more abstract and less vivid. The wild, cinematic dreams, The ones with impossible landscapes and dramatic plot twists, those are usually courtesy of REM. But here's where it gets tricky. Scientists still don't entirely agree on why we dream. Is it purely biological, your brain tidying itself up? Or is it still whispering symbolic messages? To add to the mystery, not everyone remembers their dreams. Dreams are notoriously slippery. You might wake up with a perfect recollection of a strange and wonderful dream, only for it to evaporate like mist by the time you've had a glass of water. The very regions of the brain responsible for encoding memories, like the hippocampus, are not as active during REM sleep, which is likely why our dream memories tend to fade so quickly. Still, some dreams do stick with us. The vivid ones, the scary ones, the emotionally powerful ones. Those tend to burn a bit brighter. Researchers have found that the content of dreams often reflects what's going on in your waking life. It's called the continuity hypothesis. Your daily experiences, emotions, and even things you've read or watched can sneak their way into your dreams. So if you had a stressful day and a spicy meal before bed, don't be surprised if your dreams are a strange blend of the two. Of course, dreams aren't just about daily leftovers. They can also be wildly creative. Many artists and musicians have claimed that dreams inspired their work. Paul McCartney famously heard the melody for Yesterday in a dream. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein was born from a dream. Dreams are a space where the mind lets loose without the rules of logic or physics. Your brain can experiment, rehearse, fantasize, and reflect, all without you lifting a finger. It's like going to the movies, except the scriptwriter, director, set designer, and cast are all you. That's part of the magic. Dreams are messy, mysterious, and profoundly human. They are the quiet proof that even while we rest, the mind is anything but still. So the next time you drift off, just remember, you're about to star in your very own midnight adventure. Improvised, unfiltered, and uniquely yours. Let's talk about sleep, the backstage crew that makes your dreams possible. We often think of sleep as one long, uninterrupted pause, but under the hood, sleep is surprisingly complex, a well-orchestrated cycle, more like a symphony than a simple off switch. Scientists even call it sleep architecture, which makes it sound very impressive. So let's take a quiet stroll through the blueprint of sleep. Sleep is divided into two major categories: REM sleep and non-REM sleep. And non-REM sleep itself has 3 stages, helpfully labeled N1, N2, and N3, like quiet chapter markers in a book. These stages cycle through roughly every 90 minutes, a looped playlist your brain replays all night. Stage N1, the gentle descent. This is the lightest stage of sleep when you're just beginning to drift off. You might feel your limbs twitch or have a sensation of falling. That's just your nervous system settling down. Your brain waves start to slow. It's the twilight zone between waking and dreaming. Stage N2, light sleep. Now you're sinking deeper. Your body temperature drops, your heartbeat slows, and your eye movements stop. In this stage, the brain shows little bursts of electrical activity called sleep spindles and K complexes. these are like protective mechanisms that help keep you asleep by muffling external sounds. That car horn outside, your brain just gave it a gentle shush. You'll spend about half your night in this stage. Stage N3, deep sleep, also known as slow wave sleep. This is the big one, the restorative phase. In N3, your brain produces slow delta waves, huge lumbering pulses of activity that wash through your cortex like gentle waves on a beach. This is when your body repairs tissues, builds bone and muscle, and strengthens the immune system. It's very difficult to wake someone from deep sleep, and if you do, they'll be groggy and disoriented, like someone pulled from a very warm bath. REM sleep, the dream factory. Welcome to rapid eye movement. This is the mysterious realm where the brain lights up, your muscles go limp, and your eyes dart around beneath your closed lids. REM is where the bulk of your most vivid and bizarre dreams happen. It's the brain's sandbox, a place for strange stories and illogical logic. But REM also plays a vital role in memory consolidation and emotional processing. Some researchers believe it helps you sort through the emotional clutter of the day. Here's the strange part. During REM, your brain is incredibly active, but your body is completely still. You experience a kind of temporary paralysis called REM atonia, which prevents you from acting out your dreams. It's a built-in safety feature. Each REM phase gets longer as the night progresses, which is why dreams can feel longer and more vivid toward the morning. So putting it all together, your brain starts in light sleep, sinks into deep sleep for heavy-duty repair work, and then pops into REM for a bit of late-night theater. Then it starts over. This full cycle lasts about 90 minutes. Early in the night, you get more deep sleep. Later, you get more REM. It's as if your brain schedules maintenance first, then settles in for some entertainment. And when this architecture is disrupted, it can leave you feeling groggy and unrefreshed. Sleep isn't just one thing. It's a carefully balanced rhythm. Respecting that rhythm helps your brain do what it does best. So tonight, as you drift off, remember your brain is about to launch into a beautifully choreographed routine. You may not remember all of it, but your body and your mind will thank you. Why do we dream? It's a question that has haunted philosophers and scientists for centuries. And the truth is, we still don't know for sure. Dreams remain one of the last truly mysterious frontiers of the human experience. Some dreams feel deeply meaningful, others are just odd. One moment you're back in school, the next you're floating through a supermarket. What purpose could that possibly serve? Many scientists believe dreams are linked to memory. During the day, your brain collects an avalanche of information. At night, it needs to sort through all that mental clutter. According to the memory consolidation theory, dreams are part of this cleanup job. Your brain decides what to keep, what to toss, and what to file away. Another possibility is that dreams help us process emotions. During REM sleep, emotional centers like the amygdala light up, while stress-related chemicals simmer down. This allows your mind to revisit emotionally charged memories without the full weight of panic or fear. It's like having a therapist in your head who works through your day in a surreal landscape. There's also the idea that dreams are a kind of threat simulator. This theory suggests dreaming is our brain's way of preparing us for real-life dangers by running through imaginary scenarios, being chased, lost, or unprepared. It's rehearsal, slightly unhinged, wildly exaggerated rehearsal that might be rooted in our primal instincts. Not all theories are so grand. One of the more mechanical explanations is the activation synthesis hypothesis. This view holds that dreams are simply the result of random electrical impulses in the brainstem. Your cerebral cortex, the storyteller, then tries to piece these random signals together into something coherent. It doesn't always succeed, hence the strange juxtapositions and sudden scene changes. There's also the theory that dreaming helps with cognitive development, particularly in children. Kids dream a lot more than adults, and their dreams are often more imaginative. This fantastical dream activity may help the developing brain stretch its problem-solving muscles and emotional awareness. Even for adults, dreaming may play a role in creativity. Have you ever gone to bed stuck on a problem and woken up with a solution? That's your brain quietly working the night shift, free from distractions. Dreams let the mind wander down paths it might never consider when fully awake. And yet, despite all these theories, no single explanation has won the day. It's very likely that dreaming serves multiple purposes all at once. It's your brain cleaning house, solving puzzles, and rehearsing survival scenarios, all at the same time. That's the strange beauty of dreaming. It's not tidy, but it's undeniably human. Every night, your brain spins stories for an audience of one. Stories you rarely remember, but that somehow shape your emotions, your memories, and your imagination. Have you ever wondered what part of your brain is responsible for that dream where you were trying to take an exam in a swimming pool? Or why your dreams are sometimes filled with intense emotion? The answer lies in a delicate, nocturnal dance among several regions. Let's start with the prefrontal cortex. By day, it's the responsible adult in the room, the logical planner. But when you fall asleep, especially during REM, this part of your brain quiets down. The result? Dreams that are illogical and creatively unfiltered. It's like your inner editor has left the room. Meanwhile, other areas are lighting up. The amygdala, a region deep in the brain responsible for emotions like fear and pleasure, becomes particularly active. This is what makes dreams feel so important and emotionally intense, even when the plot makes no sense. Then there's the hippocampus, your brain's librarian, responsible for creating and organizing memories. It helps retrieve the raw materials for your dreams, a place you passed, a song you heard, a face from long ago. But the hippocampus isn't fully online during REM sleep, which may be why dream memories are so disjointed and hard to recall. Another intriguing player is the occipital lobe at the back of the brain, your primary visual processing center. during REM sleep, it shows significant activity, which makes perfect sense given how visual dreams often are. It's your brain's very own film studio, operating entirely without your eyes. We also have something called PGO waves. These are bursts of neural activity that are believed to play a key role in initiating REM sleep and perhaps even informing dream imagery. Think of them as the opening act of the dream sequence. What's fascinating is how the brain becomes both highly active and strangely disconnected. The part that helps us recognize reality and make judgments is turned down, which helps explain why you might accept that you're having a tea party on the moon. Your motor cortex is also active. Your dream self can run, dance, or fly, but your body doesn't move. That's because another part of your brain stem temporarily paralyzes your muscles. This is called REM atonia, and it keeps you from acting out your dreams. It's like the brain puts a little "do not disturb" sign on your muscles. So when you lie down to sleep, it's not a passive state. An entire cast of characters in your brain is preparing for a performance. And perhaps the most curious part is that you, the dreamer, rarely remember the script. You might wake with a fragment, a feeling, a fleeting image. But behind that tiny sliver was a full-on brain production, stitched together by neurons in the dark. Imagine you're dreaming. You're walking through a vast library made of soft light. Then, suddenly, a quiet thought drifts through your mind. Wait a minute. This is a dream. And just like that, you're aware. You're lucid. Lucid dreaming is one of the most fascinating quirks of human consciousness. It's that moment when you realize you're dreaming, and sometimes you can even influence what happens next. Scientists define it as a hybrid state, a blend of waking awareness and REM sleep. What's happening in the brain? Normally, the logical prefrontal cortex is mostly offline during REM sleep. But in lucid dreams, researchers have observed a reactivation in this area. It's as if your mind opens one eye and quietly says, "Ah, I see what's happening here." Some lucid dreamers can even signal to researchers from within a dream, using agreed-upon eye movements that can be detected externally. It's as close as we've come to real-time communication with the dreaming mind. Some people stumble into lucid dreams accidentally. Others actively train themselves. One technique is to perform reality checks throughout the day, like trying to push a finger through your palm or looking at a clock twice. These tests often fail in dreams in obvious ways, which can trigger lucidity. So what's the appeal? For some, it's simply fun, a chance to explore fantastical worlds. For others, it's therapeutic. People who suffer from recurring nightmares have used lucid dreaming to confront and alter their dreams, turning to face the source of their fear and realizing it has no power. For some, that moment of control can be deeply healing. Still, lucid dreaming isn't something everyone experiences easily. And even for frequent lucid dreamers, the level of control can fluctuate. Sometimes they can shape the dream like clay. Other times, they are simply aware as they ride the wave. Ultimately, lucid dreaming is one of those marvels of the human mind that reminds us just how flexible and mysterious our consciousness really is. We often think of sleep as a time to rest, but your dreams don't always get the memo. It turns out dreams and mental health are closely linked, like two dancers moving through the night. When you're stressed or anxious, your dreams tend to get louder in content. They become more vivid, more emotional, more chaotic. They can mirror the emotional turbulence of your waking life. People with depression, for example, often report more negative or emotionally flat dream content. Anxiety can show up as dreams filled with threat or pressure. In cases of trauma, such as with PTSD, nightmares are a hallmark symptom. They are often a reliving of the traumatic event. Usually, REM sleep helps reduce the emotional sting of difficult memories, but in PTSD, that system seems to break down. The dream repeats the wound instead of soothing it. This is why therapies that focus on rewriting the nightmare while awake can be so powerful. It's clear that dreams are deeply personal. They can reveal emotional truths we haven't yet voiced. They can reflect our hopes, our fears, and the tangled middle ground where those two live. And sometimes, when the world feels overwhelming, dreams can offer a kind of symbolic relief. Of course, not all dreams are so profound. Some are just weird or disjointed. But when a dream does stir something deeper, when it echoes a stress you've been ignoring, it's worth pausing to simply notice. Because your dreaming mind isn't separate from you. It's a nighttime version of yourself, trying, in its own strange language, to be understood. Have you ever seen a dog sleeping soundly, paws twitching, letting out a muffled bark? If you've ever wondered whether animals dream, the answer is probably yes. Of course, they can't tell us about it, but almost all mammals and many birds experience REM sleep, the same stage where humans do most of their dreaming. Brain scans offer even stronger evidence. Researchers have observed that the same neural patterns rats use to navigate a maze are replayed in their minds during REM sleep, as if they are dreaming about running it again. Birds, too, show signs of dreaming, rehearsing the neural patterns of their songs while they sleep. And recent studies suggest that even some reptiles might have a kind of dream-like sleep. This raises a fascinating possibility. Dreaming might be a much older, more fundamental evolutionary trait than we once believed. So what are they dreaming about? We can make some reasonable guesses. Animals probably dream about things that matter to them, navigating their territory, hunting, playing, social bonding. The content is likely grounded in their daily experience. For a dog, it might be a replay of a walk in the park. For a cat, perhaps stalking a favorite toy. And yes, it's very likely that your own pets dream about you, their human companion, because you are such a central part of their world. So next time you see your dog's legs kicking in their sleep or hear your cat chirping softly, let them be. They are voyaging too, through inner landscapes you'll never see. For most of human history, dreams have been private, a world seen by one person alone. But now, scientists are picking at the lock. Welcome to the strange and futuristic frontier of dream recording. using fMRI machines, which show which parts of the brain are active, scientists have begun to decode the visual content of dreams. In one landmark study, researchers could guess with about 60% accuracy what kind of image a person was dreaming about, whether it was a person, a car, or a tree. They couldn't see the dream's plot, but they could identify what was being visualized. It was the first real peek behind the curtain. So can we watch someone's dream on a screen? Not yet. The reconstructions are still fuzzy and surreal, like impressionist paintings from the subconscious. But the groundwork is there. This, of course, raises big ethical questions about privacy. If the day comes when we can decode dreams with precision, what happens to that last private space? Ethicists are already discussing the need for neuro rights protections for our mental privacy and freedom of thought. But there are also potentially beautiful uses. Imagine helping people with communication disorders express their inner worlds, or using dream patterns to better understand and treat mental health conditions. There's also a playful side. Researchers are experimenting with targeted dream incubation, using gentle sounds or smells during sleep to guide the content of a dream. It's not mind control, but more like mental gardening, planting a seed and seeing what grows. But for all this dazzling technology, something quiet remains. Dreaming, at its core, doesn't require gadgets. Your brain already has everything it needs. The future of dream science may bring new tools, but it will never fully replace the simple wonder of waking up with a strange image in your head and thinking, where did that come from? And so, here we are, gently gliding back from the strange, beautiful world of dreams. We've tiptoed through REM cycles, wandered the halls of memory, and even peeked into the future. We've seen that dreams aren't just nighttime noise. They're stories your brain tells itself, sometimes clumsy, sometimes profound, always intimate. For all the brain scans and neural maps, dreams still slip through the cracks of explanation. They remain, in many ways, the mind's poetry. So as you drift off tonight, whether your brain takes you on an epic adventure or a quiet memory, simply let it. You don't need to understand every detail. You just need to let go. Your brain knows what it's doing. Before we part ways, if you enjoyed this slow journey through the sleeping brain, I'd be truly grateful if you gave the video a gentle thumbs up or subscribed to the Midnight Scientist. I often wonder where this little cloud of calm has drifted. If you feel moved to, you can leave a comment with where you're listening from tonight. Until next time, sleep well, dream freely, and remember, your mind is still writing stories, even in the dark. Good night.